I'm going to give you 18 things that will make you unstoppable with pickpocketing in Baldur's Gate 3. If you do about half of these things, you'll be pretty much unstoppable, and over half of these you can do in Act 1 at a very low level. Number 1 is Bend Luck. This takes a level 6 sorcerer. So the optimal party, I would say, once you hit level 6, but maybe even earlier, is to have a sorcerer and a bard, and probably 4 people, because you might want to run 4 concentration spells at once, depending on the situation. Number 1 is Bend Luck. It's a 2-turn spell, and it gives you an ability check bonus 1d4, just like Guidance, but it only lasts 2 turns. So this is actually best cast with haste, right? So number 2, haste. So if you cast haste on the rogue, which will be Astarion in this case, that's going to make it easier to do everything that you need to do, that is crouch, pickpocket, while the Bend Luck is active. Number 3, Bardic Inspiration. Bardic Inspiration is in the College of Valor for bards. Since there are no origin characters that are bards, you're either going to have to respec somebody to do this, or possibly multi-class, or do a hireling. I think the easiest is just to hire a hireling just for this particular task of pickpocketing. Number 3, level 1 spell. You get this at the beginning of the game. Everybody knows Guidance. 1d4 bonus on these checks and rolls, and that's going to make a big difference whether you succeed in pickpocketing or not. Casting Guidance on your thief or your rogue. So Guidance was 4. Number 5, Happy. Happy is only with Astarion, so you want Astarion to be your rogue. So you want Astarion either to bite a hireling, possibly one of the hirelings in your party, but also maybe one you leave at camp prior to doing this, or in some cases, sufficiently in stealth, and you're not going to aggro people around, then you can bite the vendor, especially if you're doing tip number 6, Feigning Death. So with Feigning Death is a spell that bards also get, but also clerics and also druids. Feign Death, in this case, I would say have your bard do it so they can also give you bardic inspiration. Feign Death, what you want to do is you're going to have your bard, your Feign Death caster, give 2,000 gold or 1,000 gold, at least until their approval bar is in the yellow region. And when you hover over them, when you get out of that, you'll see that they are green for whoever gave them the money. So whoever gave them the money should be the one that's casting Feign Death, because it has to be on an ally. And then for 10 turns, the vendor will be unresponsive, and when they wake up, they will not be mad at you that you stole everything from them. They also won't be mad at you that Astarion bit them, which should also make them at a disadvantage in checks, in addition to giving him +1 for his sleight of hand checks. Number 7, Greater Invisibility. This is a level 4 spell, so you need to be level 7 to get this. It is a concentration spell. The reason why you might want to do this instead of Fog Cloud, which is going to come later, is that Greater Invisibility allows, if you couple that with number 8, See Invisibility, then you can cast Bend Luck, Guidance, all these spells that require that you see the person. And so if you have a limited amount of time and you're using a fog cloud, Astarion might be obscured in the fog cloud. You might not be able to cast number 1, Bend Luck. So number 8, See Invisibility. Number 9, Fog Cloud. This is a great spell. If you're with Feigning Death, nobody can see you. That being said, there's the vendor in the last light in. For some reason, it's all bugged, and if you bite the vendor there or you in a fog cloud, then you're going to aggro the whole last light in. But it shouldn't. If you attack the vendor, if you do anything in a fog cloud, nobody should see you if it's not bugged. If you're not using Feign Death, the vendor's going to walk outside the fog cloud and you'll be able to pickpocket them just at the edge of the fog cloud where they'll walk. So that's the AI behavior there. Number 10, Disguise Self. So that's why you want to have your rogue be an arcane trickster, so Astarion can disguise self. He can also cast Fog Cloud if he's got the inspiration. But Disguise Self allows him to get the 1d4 on checks from the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring. And so these these items, my previous 2 videos give you the locations of all these items. So I'm not going to go through those locations, but you can get all these in Act 1. There's only one that is in the Mountain Pass, which is technically Act 1. But the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, the Silver Pendant, the Gloves of Power, the Smuggler's Ring, all are in the main Act 1 region. And then the Graceful Cloth is going to be in the Mountain Pass. But anyways, the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, coupled with number 10, Disguise Self, so number 11, Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, that's a great combination that's going to give you an extra 1d4 on checks, including your sleight of hand checks. Number 12, the Silver Pendant. This gives guidance, and while you may have a spellcaster with guidance in your party, being able to shift this pendant around to somebody that's not concentrating in your party allows you to regardless of what their class is. So for instance, your main character might not be any one of these classes that get guidance or any of these other spells, putting that on them. If Asterian's concentrating on the fog cloud, that just gives you a little bit more options. Now, there's not in all situations would you necessarily need to have 4 concentrations to maximize your sleight of hand roll checks and your chances of pickpocketing, but I've done it, and so that the Silver Pendant, which gives you guidance, is pretty cool. And then the Gloves of Power gives you +1 to sleight of hand checks and some other good features. The Smuggler's Ring gives you +2 to sleight of hand checks. So that's the Gloves of Power, number 13, Silver Pendant, number 12, number 15, Smuggler's Ring, number 16, Graceful Cloth. This gives you +2 to your dexterity score. So if you get to 18, so after your first feat as a rogue, you can get to 18 and then put another point in something else. And then you put on the Graceful Cloth, you get to +2 to 20. So it's kind of better if you put 1 in dexterity and 1 in something else if you're going to wear the Graceful Cloth. Now, it's possible, if you're using the Hag's Hair or whatever, and you're getting the bonus from Araja Blodra, who's the blood merchant in the Moonrise Towers, and you can get over 20. So you pretty much either want to have the maximum dexterity score, and I think you get +1 for each 2 points you go over. So you can start out with 17, you get to 18, then put on the Graceful Cloth, then you get +5 dexterity. Conceivably, if you got +2 more, then you could have a +6 dexterity. But I would assume most people are going to want to put that on another character, probably their main character if they're not playing Asterian. And so I think 20 is great, and you'll be so overpowered if you have 20 dexterity with the Graceful Cloth on. The other thing that the Graceful Cloth on does is it basically, you don't have to cast Enhance ability Cat's Grace. It comes with Cat's Grace, which gives you advantage on checks. So you get advantage. So that's very important. Your chances of a critical fail go down from 1 in 20 to 1 in 400 there. And pretty much, if you do half this build, your most likely reason why you're going to fail a pickpocketing check is a critical fail. And so if you have a 1 in 400 chance, that is a 0.25% chance versus a 5% chance. That is huge in terms of how much you can steal without saves coming, etc. Even if you get caught, that you fail a sleight of hand check, if you're using Feign Death, you probably won't get caught because the vendor is asleep. Number 16, getting an 18 in dexterity. Number 17, maximizing sleight of hand. So whenever you get in that opportunity to level up your rogue, put as many points in sleight of hand as it will let you. The Asterian that I'm showing you is +14 in sleight of hand, including his 20 dexterity, and then all the points he put into sleight of hand and all the things he's wearing. And then number 18, enhance ability Cat's Grace. So if you for some reason don't have the Graceful Cloth because maybe you've not entered the Mountain Pass yet, you can use that spell to give advantage on the rolls, and you definitely want to do that. The alternative is the Gloves of Thievery, but I don't recommend you get the Gloves of Thievery, which you get from the Zentarum hideout, if you deliver the chest unopened to them and then promise to deliver it to Baldur's Gate. But so you can buy that off the vendor there, but I don't recommend that anymore because I think you should be wearing the Gloves of Power, and you can get Cat's Grace or advantage on sleight of hand checks without the Gloves of Thievery. So those are the 18 things that will allow you to be totally overpowered, get everything you want from the vendors, steal everything you want, almost never or never get caught. Check out our other videos that talk more about the builds and the strategies. This is just kind of a list, and if you want to find those items, such as the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, the Silver Pendant, the Gloves of Power, Smuggler's Ring, the Graceful Cloth, then check out our earlier videos on pickpocketing. Good luck, adventurers. Bye-bye.